Hi everybody, Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've got a festive winter-themed project to share with you featuring the new Postage Collage Snowy Stencil set by Waffle Flower. This is part of their November release, and this stencil set is 3 stencils, and they're so user-friendly. This Postage Collage series, there's a ton of them. Check out their website. Okay, you can see this is labeled Lake. And so all that's going to be blended blue. And then here you can see the labeled mountains, birds, trees. And then this is the third stencil. So I'm going to start by die cutting. And I've always wanted to do it this way, and I never remember to do it this way. But die cut my panel first using the Postage Collage die. I'm using the A2 one. And I'm just using Hammermill white cardstock. I've got the large grit mat, also by Waffle Flower, and I've got it onto my Simus Stamp white glass mat. And this allows me to hold down my panel, my stencil, and my inks. It's like an all-in-one. I love this large size. I usually keep it on my glass mat at all times, and then I just put the cover back on. That way it doesn't get too dirty, and then I just put it away. Every once in a while I need my glass mat without the grit. I almost need 2 glass mats. Listen to me, like I have room. But it would be nice to have one glass mat solely dedicated to the grip mat, and then another glass mat in case you need it. You know what I mean? 2 of everything. Like you got room for it. You don't. But okay, I'm just talking. First stencil, I blended everything with SEAFOAM ink. And then I'm taking surf ink and a smaller brush and giving just a little gradient love. I feel like it just makes all the difference. Totally optional. You don't have to go, you don't add all that detail. But I love how it gives that gradient look. It just like gives a little something, something. Now we're moving on to stencil 2. And so here, some of these are mountains, some of these are trees, some of these are birds. You kind of got to look at the labels. Now I wanted to go for a nice poppin' red bird. I feel like it gives a nice holiday pop. I'm using apple ink, and I'm thinking cardinal. The other day we saw the brightest red, and that was a big bird. We saw it in the backyard, and I'm like, that cannot be a cardinal. It's too big. So then my husband Googled it, and it was, it's like a certain kind of woodpecker. But man, it was a big one, and I guess actually they're kind of, destructive, the old woodpeckers. Anywho, here I'm blending some flannel on the mountains, and then I pulled out cabbage. I accidentally blended that gray, but it's a tree. It's a tree limb. So you got to make sure you're blending green on the trees and gray on the mountains. You got to read. And, sometimes I'm not always paying attention. But there you have stencil 2. Look how easy this is. This is what I love about this postage collage. And it makes you look like you're better than you are. Stencil 3, pulling out the little shader 1 brush. These are also by Waffle Flower. Going for a darker red on the wing of the cardinal. So I pulled out Cranberry. And then there's a couple little houses I made red. Then I pulled out a darker shade of green for the back row of trees. So I pulled out Artichoke. That's in the same color family as the Cabbage. So you got Cabbage and Artichoke. And then I'm just using some scratch paper to kind of mask off so I don't, get into the other squares. And, you know what I mean? And so then here's the other little limb of, another thing you could do that'd be fun is use some paste. And I've seen examples with this particular stencil, and after you're all done, I've seen some designers flick it with white, and it looks like snowy all over, and it's gorgeous. I was very tempted to flick white ink, but I didn't. I just loved how it looked in the end, and I left it as is. But I think if I did it again, I might flick it with some white ink, because sometimes giving a good flick gives you a good kick. Okay? And then I'm adding another little, Earl Grey, making a little Earl Grey house, pulled out charcoal for some very, very dark accents. The chimney, the birds. Do cardinals have black beaks? I don't know. I was getting black beaks and black, what do you call the feet of a bird? Okay, very important information. I just Googled it. And do you know what the feet of birds are called? Feet. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I was thinking they were claws. I know they're not paws. I think you can call them talons. but you can call them feet. You learned it here first. Here at Laura Fedora, you'll learn about tittles, you learn about bird feet, and you learn about postage collage stencils. Look at this. Now here's where you could flick it, and it would look divine. And now since this has got the postage theme, I don't always remember to do this, but I love how it looks. I'm just using the Postage Collage stamp set. It's a little mini one, and it has all these little doodads to make it look like it's been stamped by the post office. And this is just the regular one, like all-purpose, hugs and whatnot, but I think they have ones for the holidays, which I need. And then even in the corner, you can put like the little stamp value. So cute. Just all those little doodads that kind of make it look special. I have done this without adding any stamping, and it looks good too. I decided to tape this down with tape runner. You could also pop it up, you know, because dimension is life. And I'm gluing this down onto a very soft gray card base, kind of tying in the color of the mountains. Now for a sentiment, I'm using the Subsentiment Mary. It's not a new one, but these are so handy to have. You should always just have a few of these on hand because you never know. When you just cut one out, pop it up, bada boom. Few clear sequins, and this card is finished. I love the pop of red. It's great for holidays, but could definitely be used not during the holidays. Check out the Waffle Flower new November release. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.